There is one thing that is more true than any other in South African politics, and that is that the overwhelming majority of political parties in this country don't really care about this country. Every single week, there is some political party fighting with some other political party about positions within some coalition government in the country. Overwhelmingly, a lot of the political parties have found ways to work together because, well, they're all self interested. And so they find ways of dealing with it. You'll remember most famously how the PA and the DA coalitions fell apart because the PA insisted that they should have access to all of the more economically active positions within the coalition. And the DA, for their part, said, hell no, we're not giving you those positions. Now, it should be mentioned that the overwhelming majority of positions within any government won't really have much of a direct effect on the money coffers of the government or even of the municipality. The same is true at local government. But there are a couple of positions, for example, treasury positions or positions over budgeting, where if the member is from a particular political party, they have a lot of influence over who gets what tenders, where the money goes, and which departments get mostly rewarded by budget allocations. So, this is usually where almost all of our coalition fights happen. The interesting thing about that is it sort of reflects on the GNU of South Africa, with the DA being the principal party that allowed the ANC to maintain leadership of South Africa. The DA did not get a single influential position within the government of national unity, and of course, this was by design with the ANC. There is a reason why the ANC never went into coalition with the DA, but instead opted for a government of national unity. You see, in coalition, the DA would probably have demanded certain positions of economic influence, either Durko or the finance minister position, or one of those. By going into a government of national unity, the ANC effectively makes it clear to the DA, unless you accept the token positions that we're going to give you, like Minister of Agriculture, we'll just go with someone like the EFF or someone like the MK. So your participation is not required in this instance. Now, coalitions in South Africa have historically been incredibly unstable. And the reason for that is, as I said at the start of this video, almost all political players in this country care only about what they can extract from the system rather than being able or even willing to put anything into the system. And most recently, we just found out that the Joburg coalition has effectively collapsed. This came as a result of a number of minority parties, and there are many. I mean, if we scroll down, I won't bog you guys down with the names of these people because they don't matter. No one will know about them. These are tiny little parties that play only on the local level. But effectively, you have these parties, the AIC, the PAC, the APC, the UIM, Good, COPE, Al Jamaha, AHC, UDM, ATM. The parties at the top there, they were the ones who left a WhatsApp group because they quoted that there were irreconcilable differences with the major coalition, but specifically within the minority bloc of the coalition. So all of these minor parties help make up the big coalition. And again, we scroll down here and you find the Government of Local Unity. You have the ANC, EFF, PA, IFP, Al Jamaha, AIC, APC, PAC, UIM, Good. As you can see, you need about 136 votes in order to be able to put forth a mayor or get anything done. So as it stands, the GLU with the ANC and the EFF and the PA have 148 seats. The official opposition with the DA, the FF Plus, and the ACDP have 78 seats. More importantly here, and I think very interestingly, as the battle for Joburg and for Gauteng more broadly starts to heat up, is the position between, or the difference between the DA and the ANC. As you can see there, it's only 20 seats. So the DA could potentially flip this. There's another opportunity that the DA could potentially flip Pretoria as well. If you go online and you look online, you will find that the Action SA social media platforms are massive. Their tweets consistently get thousands of likes. However, when you go on the ground and you look at the actual polling that's been done, Action SA is currently polling lower than what they were last time. So Action SA on the ground appears to not be delivering to the satisfaction of the residents of Pretoria, very specifically, because in Joburg, Action SA is completely out. No one knows what is going on with Action SA. They have 44 councillor seats, but they fell out with the government of local unity, and so they have not been given another position within it. So here's what this whole thing started over. The tensions in the MGP started after some members disagreed with the ANC over positions they believed they were owed for voting with the leading party. And again, just self-interest. Last month, former Mayor Kabelo Gwamanda, who was the MGP interim chair at the time, said the minority parties were considering leaving the coalition if the ANC did not recognize them as the original partners or founding members of the GLU. He pointed to great dissatisfaction within the GLU because he believed minority parties should get the post of finance member of the mayoral committee, which became vacant when Arnold's became the Speaker of Council again, but the position was given to the ANC's Loisu Masuku. Now, interestingly enough, the ANC has always been a terrible coalition partner. We see it at the level of the GNU as well, with the ANC effectively just ignoring what the GNU is, ignoring the DA, ignoring all of the other parties within the GNU. Now, for some reason, all of the parties within the GNU seem to just go along with it. There's no real pushback at the moment against the ANC, basically just doing whatever the hell they want. On the local level, this kind of chaos leads to a lot of suffering for the people of the cities that they govern. Because when coalition battles start to happen, when governments start to break down, what you end up with is zero service delivery. Nothing can be voted on, nothing can be moved forward, no projects can be completed because everyone and their mothers are fighting for political positions rather than actually just governing the cities. This is a problem, I believe, in South Africa because we're such a young democracy. For pretty much the entire history of South Africa, we have had single party leadership. Even in the old regime, the National Party was the party. No other party mattered. We were led by strongmen parties. The ANC came in 1994, and they were that strong man that led from the front. As time has gone on, and as people have become disillusioned with the ANC and ANC leadership, the issue now is that almost no party has stood up as the next strongman party that will lead South Africa forward. But as a result of this, we now have this incredibly fractured voting system. We have something like, I saw an article the other day, over 4,000 political parties currently in South Africa, with the overwhelming majority of them standing for nothing. They're just standing because they can, and why wouldn't they? Because there's some money to be made if you're in local government, right? This is sort of part of the book that's just been written on Julius Malema. I haven't read it yet, but I've read excerpts of it. And part of that book actually shows how the EFF is making bank by being involved in local governments, even in just coalitions. They quietly work their way in and they get their people into tender positions and they make a lot of money from that. South Africa desperately needs election reform. We desperately need financial reforms within the electoral system. We need to get big money out of the government. We need to get government money out of political parties. And we need to get political parties out of the economy. Because as long as this continues, as long as we have this system in place, this kind of stuff will just continuously happen. Because I guarantee you, the overwhelming majority of these political parties are not there because they care about running this country or about doing anything good for the people of this country. They exist only to see how much can they scoop before they get caught out or before they're forced to leave. It is an untenable situation. The people of Joburg are obviously voting for this because they're fed up. They don't know who to vote for. They don't want to vote for the ANC. A lot of people, as you can see there, don't want to vote for the EFF, but who else do they vote for? So they're hoping that any of these other parties actually care. We desperately need change in this country because once the ANC collapses, and it will collapse, Ramaphosa does not have a lot of time left. Uh, Basically, end of 2028, Ramaphosa will be forced by the ANC to step down as the president of the country. Paul Mashatile will probably become the president until the next election, and there is no one within the ANC that has any mandate from the people. The people don't like anyone else within the ANC. So once that happens, the ANC will effectively crumble. And what stands in its place? Not the DA. The DA is the second largest party, but they won't get over 40% of the vote. PA? No. Action SA? No. Who stands in the place? It's going to be an interesting period. As always, hit the like if you liked, the dislike if you didn't. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this. Where do you think the future of coalition governments in South Africa will actually take us? Massive shout out and thank you to all of the patrons as well as the YouTube channel members for continuously supporting this channel. To become a patron, link in the description down below, or hit the join button right below this video to become a YouTube member. Your support is always incredibly valued. As always, be good to each other, be kind to each other, question everything. And I'll see all of you in the next one. Peace.